Hi, my name is Mulkaltum Hussein. We have a guest with us here today. We'll be talking about romantic and sexual relationship among university students. Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the unplanned pregnancy among university students, where it all started and how it's becoming high and the damage it's causing.
Before, let's say in the past decade, the previous decade usually, actually, most of the campaign that has been done to curb early pregnancies and unwanted pregnancies was to abstain. But then nowadays, the norm has been it's fine, okay, fine, abstain. But then if you can't abstain, then have protected sex. But then you'll find that nowadays most people are very careless in their sexual relationships, and that's how most ladies end up pregnant. You can also find that it's a can say a stroke of bad luck, because you can say you took all the measures, you used condoms, contraceptives, and everything, but then it still failed, and you got pregnant. So usually, my first opinion would be, if you're not ready to take care of a child, then don't have sex, because you don't know what would happen somewhere in the middle. The other thing would be, most people are in very healthy relationships, but some people are in very toxic relationships. So you'll find the ladies would want to talk about protected sex and everything, but then the guys would feel as if that holds them back in some way. So you'd find that there are guys who are not up for having protected sex, and they choose to take the risk, and that's how some ladies end up pregnant. And you find that they end up having to bear the burden of the child alone sometimes, because the guys will actually look at the story.
Okay. So what's your take on university students dating older men?
Older men. Yeah. I have no prejudice if it's genuine.
Okay.
But then again, it's very hard for us to tell if it's genuine or not, because in like the whole romantic relationship space, anything fake can seem real to anyone. You know, you can put up appearances when you're outside with people, but then the story is different otherwise. And even for the lady dating the older guy, it might seem as if, you know, she's genuine and happy to be in this relationship, but then it's, you know, it maybe has like a gain or purpose to it. But then again, you'd think that older men would also be careful with, can call it experience, having prior experience with sexual relationships and their previous relationships. And so sometimes girls can tend to lean on that, as even if something happens, he's still able to provide and take care, and he's going to take responsibility. Or you just have confidence in the fact that his pull-out game is going to be good because he's done it for a while.
Okay. So do you think girls dating older men is a factor that contributes to unplanned pregnancy?
I'd say so, sometimes. If you tend to not be careful, or if you tend to have so much confidence in yourselves that you choose to not take preventive measures. Yeah.
So do you think abortion is a solution for unplanned pregnancy?
Personally, I'm pro-life. So if you are pregnant, whether you had planned for it or not, begin to plan for it now, the moment you find out that you're pregnant. Because I think it should ring at the back of anyone's mind that the moment you're having sex, there is a possibility of falling pregnant, whether or not you've taken 101 measures. Well, unless you have been declared impotent, or you're unable to bear a child as a lady, there is always that possibility to have a child, to get pregnant, as long as you're having sex. So abortion is never going to be the way to go for me. I'm always going to tell you, if you come and tell me, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, I'm pregnant, I'm like, okay, start planning for that child now, because that child doesn't need to suffer for your mistakes.
So what will be your advice to female students about pregnancy and them dating older men generally?
Be careful. For one, there is no hurry to do anything. You've just entered, you've just come out of your teenage years. You're just beginning your 20s. There are people who have lived life all the way in their 40s and everything, and people are still living their lives. So there is no hurry to have sex and experience the wild side of life. If you're not ready to be able to bear responsibility, don't do something that will cause you to take that risk.
That's all. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.